Hello, this is the Geeker, and I am posting a video response to R Dowdy 95's video about his how do I describe this? Free giveaway thing. I've been watching your videos for a while, so I thought I might as well enter this for some of the comics and stuff. So this is my response to the Great Legend from the Geeker. Okay, get to that boring part. We can go up to the stuff that I got for the horror comics. I've actually got 3 here. This War of the Undead, which is a trade paperback that was an original comic series, I believe. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. And then, you know what? I'll just pick this one and go through it with. Yeah. This is War of the Dead by Brian Johnson and Walter Flanagan. They're friends of Kevin Smith, and they appear in the TV show Comic Book Men. This was a book I think written in like 2006, 2007, and it's basically about Nazis trying to resurrect Hitler after he has committed suicide. And basically what happens is they get Dracula. If you can see this, I'm not good with video cameras, but okay, they get Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein to try to help resurrect Hitler, but they kind of mess up, and it's basically Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman versus a bunch of Nazi zombies, which is pretty interesting, but the dialogue's not the best. But I'll show you a few pages of why it freaked me out. Right here, you might not be able to see it, but like this right here, and they've got some pretty messed up imagery in this book, like different gross stuff that's just monsters and stuff, which was pretty scary when I read it. But that's my pretty interesting. It's not really super scary, it's just the drawings are pretty terrifying if you're reading it for the first time. But that's that. Then I'll go to this right here. This is a more recent book, The Goon, issue number 41, which is basically about this guy right here, who is kind of like a witch of sorts. He can tell people's futures. So it's just basically about him, and he tells people's futures, and he can grant them wishes, but they don't always go out how the person wants it. But what's pretty freaky is, like, he's got this little friend of him, and it's just really, it was really scary to me when I was reading it. It's a pretty interesting story, and it's written by, I believe, Eric Powell is the creator. I don't know if he exactly wrote this specific one, but I think he did. But this was pretty scary to me, and how basically this guy turns on his little like pet and actually kills him, which was completely bizarre to me. It was kind of weird, and he basically takes his eye and sticks it in his eye and gets 2 eyes. It's kind of messed up. But this one actually did a little bit, not really scare me, but I've read a comic that scared me, but this is probably the closest to actually frightening me a little bit. So that was that right there. And then we'll go to actually another recent comic. This was like maybe a month or 2 months ago, Tales of the Supernatural. I don't know if this is number 1 or if they're even going to make a new another one of these, but this is basically 3 separate stories piled into one book. It's got The Guardian, which is basically this U.S. I believe he's an Army Ranger. He might be a Marine. I think he's an Army Ranger. But it's basically him, and he meets up with these like Taliban-y guys, or you know, like freedom fighters or whatever. And they get into a fight, and actually, I believe they're Iraqis, and the Iraqis are actually transporting like a case, but there's something in the case that's very spooky and terrifying. Which that story was actually interesting at the end. And then there was this weird little meat market one that wasn't really that interesting. It was just about little, like, zombie love. But then this one right here, the Golem kind of scared me a little bit, just how it was written. I was reading it and I felt like really close to the two characters, and they actually break into this old man's house and like kill him or something, or not exactly kill him. Yeah, they kill him and then like they see this monster appear, and that's basically how it ends. But I actually liked it. So that's really all I want to say. So basically the scariest one for me probably was The Goon number 41 with this witch, fortune teller, spellcaster guy. But this is probably the scariest comic. But as far as looks, War of the Undead was just completely brutal, and I enjoyed it a lot. The writing was not super great. Like, in a few parts there's words that shouldn't exactly be there. I think maybe it's just because I'm not super literate. Yeah, super literate is how you're supposed to say the thing. Super literate. Actually smart. I'm not literate. I'm not grammatically correct. Yeah, so this right here is the art, and this right here is just little cute little stories and compiled into one book, which is pretty awesome for $2.99. I'd say definitely pick this one up just to try it and check it out. And if you can find this one at a place, I'd say pick this up and just flip through the first maybe 10 pages, read a little bit of it, and see if you like it, because it's a pretty interesting story. I mean, it's a very interesting concept. They could have tied it up together better and made a more interesting story, but the plot is amazing. So that's my response to You, the Legend, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope to see more comic reviews from you, definitely, and some more chef videos. So adios.